Good morning to everyone. Thank you for the invitation at this symposium dedicated to advancements in the nuclear medicine. I would like to welcome all of you and also on behalf of my colleagues, members of European Parliament and in particular Mr. Patriciello. I will be very concise as the eminent speakers that will follow my intervention will explore the matter in different angles, giving a complete overview of the last advancements. Nuclear medicine is an exciting medical specialty. It was already in use decades ago. The first applications date after the Second World War and were about the treatment of thyroid cancer. Nowadays, this branch is very promising because it's able to combine medicine with biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, artificial intelligence, standing at the crossroads of many areas. Nuclear medicine promises the shortest path to precision medicine and can intervene in the fight against cancer, but also in cardiac and neuropsychological disorders. It is already transforming the way diseases like cancer and mental health conditions are treated. There is an enormous potential in the interlinkage between nuclear medicine and digitalization, with a particular reference to application of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence and the machine learning-based approach are progressively shaping the future of our health systems. These technologies are increasingly finding their way into various areas of medicine. For years, AI has captured society imagination and generated enthusiasm for its potential to improve our lives. It already plays an integral role in our daily routines and interactions with media, with transportation and communications. The future will be characterized by a further intensification of the adoption of AI techniques, algorithms, automated machines, and other technologies in healthcare to improve image scanning, reading, processing, and reconstruction, diseases diagnosis, health management, therapies development, and so on. The use of AI-based technologies can be very beneficial in advancements on cancer treatments. Given the large number of patients diagnosed with cancer and with significant amount of data generated during cancer treatment, there is a specific interest in the application of AI to improve oncological care. AI can manage the use of chemotherapy drugs and predict the tolerance of those drugs to optimize the therapy regime. AI can help doctors to make correct treatment decisions, reduce unnecessary surgeries, and help oncologists to improve patients' cancer treatment plans. In nuclear medicine, AI will have a profound impact, both on technological aspects and on image reading. These developments will lead to a better image quality, shorter acquisition time, and lower radiation doses. In recent years, a huge progress was made in the fields of radiochemistry, radiology, scanner technology, and computational analysis of complex patterns, and these have resulted in sophisticated methods to diagnose, detect, and successfully treat cancer. Artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques are becoming an integral part of biomedical research and healthcare. I would like to conclude my short intervention today by passing you three messages that I think are relevant, at least to me. The European industry is very active and for decades have been at the forefront of the technology. Many of the world's top researchers and strongest companies in this sector are European. So there is a clear need to support nuclear medicine at European level. We need to facilitate the availability for medical use, allow the seamless connection of hospitals and distribution sites across the EU, enabling education, skill creation, and awareness, promoting and invest further research and infrastructure development. Second message is big data are already in use to train machine learning models in some areas, but they are vital in the digitalization of health sector and their wider use still encounters significant obstacles. We need to improve our system to collect and treat big amounts of data, and the development of common European cloud spaces for health might be beneficial for nuclear medicine. Third, and lastly, we need more research collaboration, more cooperation in the field of biomedical science, all along its value chain from fundamental research to clinical research. I thank again Nuclear Medicine Europe for this opportunity. I remind you to keep the European Parliament informed and involved in your initiatives, and I wish you fruitful discussions and the good continuation of your works. Thank you very much.